Look at this. I'm surrounded by everything I love. I love this room. Got good old Doris here. Some Black and Milds. M92 F Samurai Edge. Three magazines for that Samurai Edge. A single stack 8 or 9-year-old magazine. This is the original magazine that came with Doris. Before I get into the main event on this video, I'm going to demonstrate something here. I know I demonstrated it a while ago, and I don't know what it was. I think maybe the lighting or something. It didn't do any justice. And the way I've been doing videos lately, I figured, why not? Why not? I'll do what I want. Just like how, you know, I'm taking a risk right now, wearing a bandana with a hat. Yeah. Being Caucasian. Fooled you. Fooled you. Fooled you. I'm not Caucasian. Not that it really matters, but people are funny like that. If I want to wear a bandana with a hat, my piercings, my skinny jeans, and my shitty band shirts, I'm gonna fucking do it, because I don't care. But anyways, so this is the original magazine of Doris, single stack magazine. Now, for some reason, like I got this, when I originally got Doris, the 1918 A1, which was originally a 1911 A1. I got it from Gapowie. I know a lot of you know that, but I figure I'll give a little bit of a background. And at the time they were doing this deal, Gapowie was the shit. I don't know what happened. Were they better than e-bike? Not necessarily, but I did like them. And I got a few things from them, like my propane adapter. I'm pretty sure that's where I got that. But it was a pretty cool deal going on. The gun was like $100 and something. The gun was a big seller. So they decided, like Gapowie decided, hey, we're gonna do like a little bundle pack, if you will. The gun came with its magazine and a spare magazine. On top of that, it came in a plastic case with a picture of the gun. There was a picture of two different versions. There was the MEU, and then there was the World War II era. And opened the box, there's foam, and then the manual and stuff like that were behind the foam and stuff like that. It was a really nice box. When I got the yeah, here we go again for the billionth time, the HFC M9 A1 Special Forces Select Fire pistol, that came in a box too, like that one, like a carry case with like little latches, like locks and whatnot. It was a pretty sweet deal, and it was like 130 or 140 or something like that. I got it for my birthday. I think I was like 17 or something like that. But anyways, getting down to the point now that a little bit of the history is gone, the short version, I guess, and this is what it looks like today. Again, 1918-81. A lot has been done to this gun, but a lot of it doesn't even deal with performance. But the point that I'm getting at real quick, this magazine that came with the gun, and then there was a spare magazine. Spare magazine's in another bedroom. But I want to directly call this one out. Over the years, I don't know what happened. I didn't do anything to this magazine. I did do my little gas efficiency mod where all you do is just well, I got a video on it. I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to waste more time. But pretty much, the felt recoil from this magazine is lesser than any other single stack magazine I run through my two 1911s I have right now. The 1918 A1 and the Kimber. Which, by the way, I did a little more work to the Kimber. I'll get into that in a sec. Yeah, for some reason, I don't know what it is. Like, this magazine used to kick just like the rest, and then it just got lower. And, by the way, it has nothing to do with the gas efficiency mod, because I put that in all my other magazines, and they're all fine. And anything, the gas efficiency mod does make the gun kick a little bit more. Because what the mod does, it makes a greater seal, so it only releases the gas that it needs. That's why you don't see as much gas poofing from like the ejection port or like the reader, the slide or whatnot. When you shoot with the gas efficiency mod, you don't see as much. But with this one, you kind of do. Like the last video I put up with the Kimber, I shot and you could see it, and that was with this magazine. This is the magazine I now switched over because it matches this gun to be its standard mag. But anyways, so I'm going to take a good old doors here. Load the magazine in. It kicks really soft. It works though. It does propel a BB just fine. It's just a very soft recoil. Now, obviously, with the Kimber, it's gonna kick a little more because it's got a smaller slide. Just like real steel, a smaller gun is gonna have more recoil than a heavier, bigger gun. Usually. Safety on, off, okay. Alright. Doesn't lock back. The magazine is very old, like I already stated. Real quick. Polish the gun up a little bit more so it's a little more blingy. And polish up the grip screws. Which should have been done a while ago, but I was just putting that off because I was trying to get hex screws. Like the real steel, but I figured, you know what, this is close enough. I didn't want it to be exact replica, but I wanted it to be a good representation. I want people to be able to look at it and be like, well, it's some sort of Kimber carry. And I think it looks, obviously I made it, so I think it looks the part. I mean, I had pictures and everything to go by, so. But anyways, main attraction probably made you guys open the video. You probably didn't open the video thinking, oh boy, he's going to just talk about the same crap over and over again. I'm going to remove these ladies. Good old Doris. Miranda. I got a feeling this girl's going to get her name real soon. I already know what I want to name her, but I'm going to wait. She's doing very well. By the way, a little update too on the Kimber. The Kimber has a mere 209 Stewart. So I mentioned in that other video that I made like a homemade grenade launcher. What the fuck is this thing? What is this thing? As you can see, it's got some pretty good use going on. It was only used in one game, but when I play, man, I'm rough. I know what I'm doing, man. I like bring out that warfare. Alright, so it's spring powered. It's got dual spring tension. The springs combined are 6 or 7 inches long, and they're thick. They're heavy duty springs from Home Depot. Everything you see here, except for the stock, the buffer tube back here, and the screwdriver from Home Depot. You get a screwdriver anywhere you want. It doesn't matter. If you really want to use a screwdriver, listen. This thing was mostly influenced by the Fallout series. In Fallout 3, you're able to take miscellaneous items and combine them to make a gun. Like the rocket launcher and the shish kebab and a few other weapons. That's what really influenced me into this. Then, I really wanted to just make something. I've always been a crafty sort of person to just make my own stuff. Like a while back when I combined a spring-powered and gas-powered non-blowback pistol and just made one. It was a G17 gas non-blowback and a Walther P99 spring-powered, and I literally just joined the halves. And it worked pretty okay, but it came down to the magazine being junk, and I still need to get a new magazine for that. But I'm not too concerned. Yeah, and also, let's name all the parts here. It's going to be a very, very ghetto, if you will, list. A large PVC pipe, a screwdriver, electrical tape, duct tape, 2 heavy-duty springs, a shower suction cup. Are you writing this down? Okay. An MP5 retractable stock. And an aspirin bottle. It's single action, manual cocking, spring powered. It's ammo. Really, I guess you could put anything that will fit in the muzzle as long as it ain't can, you know, like as long as it isn't like rock, like it's not gonna severely hurt somebody. But I was like, you know what? I already got really creative with the thing itself. I want to get even more creative. What do? I thought, well, it's supposed to be a grenade launcher. Miniature Easter eggs, and I would fill them with BBs. If you fill them with BBs, they will fly further. And because they're heavy, and when they hit something, they will burst on impact, and there'll be a shower of BBs. Believe me, I shot some dude with it. It was awesome. There was another time I wanted to go shoot the dude with it, and I guess they didn't get enough spring tension, and it just went floop. And just rolled on the ground. I was like, oh! So I pulled out my 1911 Series 80 and just started shooting at him, and he was like running off. He's just a squirrely son of a bitch. Tell you what. But this thing is pretty friggin'. It's wild. It's a character. So what did I do? Well, I got a pretty good idea of what I needed. I knew for a fact that I needed a muzzle or a receiver in one. And I knew it was going to be spring powered, manual spring operation. So I got the PVC pipe. Okay, PVC, yes, PVC pipe. And, well, I was like, well, what's going to fill up the gap here? Because that's what's going to hold the spring tension. But I had nothing that could really fill that gap at the time. I was like, got an aspirin bottle. So I dumped all the aspirin out, put it in like a bag. Here you go. Just gave it to my my girl. And she's like, why is there aspirin in the bag? I'm like, shh, you'll find out when it's done. She's like, it's like drugs. I'm like, oh my gosh. This Advil right on them, or Tylenol, whatever it was. So I cuffed it in the back, and I duct taped it. Duct taped it all sorts of ways, man. Like, look at this. It works. Duct taped it this way, and then duct taped it this way. And I didn't have the stock on yet, because I wanted to put the stock on last. So, and then I took a Dremel, and I dremeled this. Of course, I had to measure by eye and whatnot of how I was going to do this. this slot down here, there's also a slot on the other side here, so that way this gun can be more like ambidextrous, I guess, because this screwdriver can be taken out and swapped over. And yeah, this is a little rough, but it works. That's what matters with this thing. Like I said, it was inspired by Fallout. So, I mean, this isn't based off a particular weapon from the game, just the idea. So, also, I failed the mission. There's also a, I'm not even sure what that would be called in there, but it's another PVC piece. It's about this big. It's like a cup. But it's hollowed out, and it's got like a lip on it. Obviously, it's for plumbing. I don't know anything about plumbing. So, that's what's there. That's what holds the cup. The suction cup. The suction cup has a hook on it. Well, I bent the hook so that way it's more of a loop. So I would have this thing set up. So, like, I took the small little PVC cup-looking thing with the lip on it that's in there, and I dremeled a hole all the way through it. Then what I did was I made it so that way the screwdriver weaves through the spring, like through the notch, through the spring, into the cup, through the loop on the suction cup, and then out the other hole and out the other side. And I just got electrical tape right here just to prevent it from coming out. And it kind of acts like a plug or a retainer, if you will. Yeah, and putting that together, like, field stripping this gun is actually pretty easy, but putting it back together, it's a little difficult, because like I said, you gotta line everything up, you gotta play with it a little bit. But, there's that, and after that, I fitted a screwdriver, I tested the tension and everything, and this thing is pretty tough to pull back. Like I said, it's got 2 heavy-duty springs in it. And it's definitely a little, well, not to sound whatever, but I'm quite a bit bigger than I used to be. So now it's like pretty easy for me. If you're, my friend, he's a pretty thin dude, and he has a little bit of a hard time doing it. But if you get some leverage, like put it up against your thigh, and pull it back, and what you do is you pull it back, and you lock it into the notch. There's no trigger for this thing. Really, all the trigger is, see, it's in that notch. I know it's kind of hard to see. There you go. The trigger on this thing is the screwdriver. Now, it will stay there by itself, but sometimes the tension will allow it to just push forward. And the slightest tap, really, will just let it go off. Now you can kind of see the suction cup that's in there. If you look down, you can't really see it, but, I mean, you can kind of see it. A little bit. It's like a light purple, like a lavender color. And how you fire this thing, and the stock, by the way, I simply just put it on here, duct taped it, and then put electrical tape so that way it's black instead of gray. And electrical tape is more comfortable to grip. So this is how you would hold the thing. Okay? And if you want to fire it, like, you would just simply muzzle load the egg filled with BBs before you cock it, of course. And then you just shoulder mount it. You can hold it at your head. It doesn't matter how you hold it. And then if you want to fire it, you simply just, like, say you're aiming at your enemies. Yeah. And the egg usually goes flying and it's on impact. And there's like, that little egg can hold like 50 plus BBs in it. And obviously the lighter the BBs, the more spread you're going to have, more of a scatter because they're lighter and they're going to fly around more. And obviously the heavier they are, the more concentrated the blast is going to be. And then this dude decided, hey, you know what, maybe you should put this bumper sticker on it. Have you seen my pickle? I was like, why not? I got the orange tape on here so no one thinks it's some sort of weapon of mass destruction. You can even hold it up on your shoulder, like up on top of your shoulder if you wanted. Like, rack it down that way. If you can see that, just rack it down this way and hold it on your shoulder and then just push down, like smack the handle down like an MP5 and reload an MP5. Just smack down and it will shoot. But, yeah. This thing is pretty cool. I know a lot of you are going to be like, and the lighting is getting bad in here because it's shitty outside. But anyways, I know a lot of you are probably like, you know, but like, and I know some of you are going to like it. Some of you are going to think it's pretty cool too. So, you know, this is handmade. Mostly a dremal and tape. And, by the way, the MP5 did not perish in vain. It was a spring-powered MP5. And I ended up trading it to a friend, and before I did so, I put another stock on it. It was like a full stock. No, it was not. I friggin' lied to you guys. It was another adjustable stock. It was just different. It wasn't metallic. The other one was plastic. So there you go. Spring-powered MP5. But, yeah. Homemade, single-shot, spring-cocking grenade launcher. Another 20-minute video, which I doubt any of you people are going to fucking watch. But, take a risk. Just like I chose to take a risk to wear a bandana with a hat. Yeah. I was going to review it a while ago. And it was being a real pain in the ass. Because I was trying to show how to field strip it. And at the time I was really in the mood to really try and get the video out and show how it just simply field strips. But now I'm just like, nah, you guys are beat. Sorry. But, just showing you guys what I was talking about. I know I mentioned it in that video recently, and I was like, well, it wouldn't be fair if I left you guys hanging and didn't show it. Thanks a lot for watching. If you decide to make one of these, that's pretty freaking sweet. Maybe you should do a video on it. And, see you ladies and gents around.